Litecoin looks horrible, XForceGlobal. Yeah, those are the words I heard over the past few days and weeks. And my response to that was, I don't think so and I don't care. So I'll be honest with you guys. I think Litecoin still looks absolutely fantastic on the macro. Just because you think it's bad doesn't mean that I should give up my personal position. Absolutely not, because we got to follow the rules and guidelines based on the Elliott Wave Theory. And I'm going to tell you why, in my personal opinion, that Litecoin may be shaping up to be one of the most bullish coins of 2025 and possibly going into 2026. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you can kindly hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, that will mean everything to me. Thank you so much for your support. Now, guys, I get it. All of you are fed up with me talking about the same coins over and over, and you're like, X-Force, please tell me something that I haven't heard already. Well, that's the whole point, ladies and gentlemen. We were one of the first to be one step ahead of the game and made sure to pick only the coins that had real potential. And slowly but surely, we are seeing the markets flushing out the bad coins and shifting focus into coins like XRP and Litecoin. And we have all the evidence here, ladies and gentlemen. Smart money might be accumulating XRP. Now, I'm not saying it's looking perfect, but I do think it's important to clarify that being uncomfortable is not the same as being blinded, ladies and gentlemen. There are certain pieces of criteria we must look for when choosing the right coin. And one of them is that you want to be looking for coins that have multi-year accumulation phases. And that is already giving us, from a market psychology standpoint, that the asset or coin might be showing incredible strength. And Litecoin checks that off, just like we saw for XRP. XRP just had far more liquidity and resolved it quicker, but Litecoin falls into that same category or tier coin that has price history, and most importantly, it has long price history. We have higher lows being established, like I said, created year over year within possibly two converging lines. That puts us in what could be one larger possible triangle apex, and the Elliott Wave Theory builds upon that pattern. And more importantly, the triangle pattern provides us clarity because we abide to the rules and guidelines of 5s and 3s that the Elliott Wave Theory provides us. And more importantly, within the triangle, we have a series of 3s as zigzag families, indicating that this is a larger consolidating pattern. As you can see here, we do have a series of 3s all as zigzags, or one complex structure as a possible WXY here for this D wave. So what that means is that the markets are definitely interested in this, even though you may not be interested in it. There's definitely interest in the markets because we are creating not only one, not only two, not only three, but 4 higher lows. And that is very, very important for the price action on the macro, that smart money may be accumulating with each potential dip that it happens. So most importantly, we are converging within these two lines here, and that is a triangle, ladies and gentlemen. Even if you're not versed in the Elliott Wave Theory, it is very, very possible that the general markets are seeing this as a possible triangle. So what does that mean for potential targets? In my opinion, I think the first level of resistance is going to be around the $180 to the $300 region, as seen by this previous B wave, as that is going to be the first level of important level that we're going to be looking at, as that will be the first level of retest since October of 2021, and that is already 4 years in the making, ladies and gentlemen, of another potential higher low being here. So what does that mean? If we do have all of the sub points being created where we have an A, B, C, D, E, all of those sequences is aligning to what could be a possibly completed triangle. Now, can we get rejected around these levels? Absolutely. And I take that into consideration, and we'll use that as another opportunity, and for the markets into consideration, that may be another level of accumulation, coming back and retesting these levels here before the actual breakout happens, as seen by this dotted line. But everything still leads to the upside. And ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, eventually I think we will have a massive breakout. While we remain uncomfortable in these positions, we will eventually shift to the level of being comfortable as the markets enter these levels here. And as the general retail markets build their positions here, that same market psychology is going to be reversed, where they're now going to be uncomfortable and we sit at a comfortable level. So that's how I'm currently seeing it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to be blinded by the markets, and you definitely want to be taking each consideration of pieces of evidence taken into consideration of how these breakout patterns are going to be playing out. And it is just clear as night and day that we are creating some kind of triangle, multi-year accumulation, 2000 2,600 plus days of accumulation. That's something to not joke around with. And I have been accumulating Litecoin for a long time now at this point. And I continue to remind myself that we are in a 2,600 plus day accumulation. And that, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly the same market psychology and strategy I applied for XRP. And look where it's sitting at. It is sitting at a very healthy all-time high, and it's still arranging as the meme coin ecosystem is going down. We are seeing the downfall of a lot of other coins. Ethereum is not showing that same pattern. But ladies and gentlemen, Litecoin, we want to take the most risk during the phase of boring phases and then let the general market do all the rest of the work at a later stage. That's how we should be approaching the markets, ladies and gentlemen. So if that is one level of interest, these levels here is still just within a very important level of support. Do I think that these levels are going to be breaking? I don't know, but we will have a clear invalidation level as shown by this level here of the previous subwave C. And if that's the case, then we know for sure that is the level to get out. But again, at least we know we won't be holding our positions in a losing position because we are inherently trying to risk manage our positions as much as possible. So if we do go up into these regions here, does it mean that we can go up to the 4 digits? In fact, I do think that we will be eventually reaching the 4-digit levels, but being too ambitious at the markets means that we are blinded. Like I said, we don't want to be blinded by the markets. We want to take the most risk during the boring phase, and on a breakout trade, even 100-200% move, that is where you want to be profiting the most instead of trying to maximize your positions. So with that being said, yes, I do believe that we can be reaching the 4-digit levels, and most importantly, we want to be increasing our positions here as much as possible. But being uncomfortable right now is a little bit of a payoff for being comfortable at a later stage, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully that was helpful, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of how I'm applying my personal strategy. Thank you very much. That is how I'm viewing Litecoin. If you're interested in joining the Discord membership for more timely updates, the links are in the description below. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And also, we do offer a Patreon membership for those who would like to get more updates twice a week. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Trade safe. Bye-bye.